For today's main activity, you are going to be solving some equations using any method you would like. I have placed a video here on this slide, as well as the video you're watching now that you may watch. It's only a couple minutes long, but it shows you an example of solving a two-step equation. So the example I'm going to go ahead and do for you now is 2x plus 6 equals 4. Remember, in today's lesson, we're going to be dealing with negative numbers. On Friday, we dealt with only positive numbers, so today we're going to be dealing with negative. So if you remember, on Friday, we actually went through and we solved problems using the hanger method. And remember, the hanger method looks something like this. And on this side, we may have a block that is, in this case, 4. And on this side, it's 2x plus 6. And remember, as a hanger, it had to be even on both sides, just so, our hanger stays even. Okay, so we had an x, and a 6 was the same thing as 4 on this side. Okay, and we knew that even looking at our equation here that those are equal amounts because this side is going to be the same as that side. Okay, so remember, when we had to solve these, we took off what we could to make it nice and even and pretty. Okay, so the first thing we notice is, hey, we have numbers on each side, so we can take off numbers of each side. So I'm going to subtract 6 over here, and I'm going to subtract 6 over here. And if you notice, I can subtract 6, as we learned in our last unit. 4 minus 6, in that case now, I have negative 2 left. Okay, I can actually come over here and do the same thing even without my hanger model. Okay, I can look at it and I can say, okay, I have 6 over here. I can go ahead and take away 6 right there. And what I do to one side, just like on my hanger model, I've got to do to the other. And the reason why I have to do it to both sides is because I've got to keep this even. Okay, if I only take off 6 on this side and leave the 6 on this side, this is going to make this side heavier than that side, and that won't work. So we've got to take it off both sides. Okay, 6 minus 6 is 0, so that actually cancels each other out. And 4 minus 6 is negative 2. So now I have 2x equals negative 2. And if I look over here at my hanger diagram as well, it shows the same thing. I've taken 6 off of this side, taken 6 off of this side, and now I have 2x and minus 2 are equal. So then I can think to myself, okay, I have 2 spaces split between negative 2. Okay, 2 spaces split between negative 2. Well, that just involves division. Same thing over here. I can divide by 2 and divide by 2. This cancels my 2's out and leaves just my x. And negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, because we know a negative divided by a positive is always a negative. Therefore, x equals negative 1. And when I look back over here at my hanger model, like what we did last week, if I took negative 2 and I split it into 2 parts, it would be negative 1 and negative 1. That means 1x is equal to negative 1. So really, we are tying what we did with the hanger model into just the equations, okay? We're keeping that idea of, hey, I've got to keep both sides even. So, hey, I know I can take away 6, like I did in this problem. I can go ahead and take away 6, and then I'm just left with my 2x. Well, then I can divide by 2, like I would with this x's over here, to get my answer of negative 1. Now, to double check your work, you can go back in and actually put it into your equation. So I'm going to replace this x with negative 1. So 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. plus, whoops, that we're going to act like that's a plus sign, plus 6. Negative 2 plus 6. And so if I imagine in my mind the number line, or even thinking about the wonderful music video I showed you guys, same signs add, different signs subtract. So it's the different signs, so we're going to subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. And I take the sign of the bigger number. In this case, my bigger number is 6, and so therefore it is positive 4, which is what this is here. So therefore, we are correct. I've actually included what I did with that equation on the next slide for you all so that you can see exactly what I did. Minus 6, divide by 2, divide by 2. That's what the slashes are. So like I said, you're going to go through and you are going to solve these 4 equations. Be thinking about it even as a hanger model to help you, okay? The idea that, hey, what you do to one side, you can do to the other. If you get stuck, you can always watch this video here or even look up your own videos under solving two-step equations. Remember, if there are any questions, please feel free to email me.